What is up, everybody? RandomRandomMan here, bringing you my final review of 2015, and it is for Joy. The movie is based on the real-life Joy Mangano, played here by Jennifer Lawrence, a struggling mother of two and inventor of the Miracle Mop, which is labeled as the only mop you'll ever use for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, ever since Joy was a child, she had to deal with her highly dysfunctional family getting in the way of her accomplishing her dreams. That is until she is given the opportunity to patent and create the Miracle Mop in order to sell to the masses. Jennifer Lawrence has actually gained some criticism for being seen as too young to play a character that spans and goes through a lot in the number of years that this movie takes place in. But I would say even in some of the most unfit roles for Lawrence, she always brings her A game in any role she participates in. And that's no different here, as she is always fantastic and endlessly watchable in any movie she is in. Especially with this film, because she has to have a lot of complexity being at her disposal in playing a character that has to deal with a lot of emotion with her dysfunctional family, but also a lot of determination in wanting to get her dreams to become true. That's what I really admire about Lawrence as an actress, as she always brings a certain depth about her characters that always make her very bright and very vibrant on screen, and is another reason in this movie why she's my favorite actress of this generation. Other supporting players in this movie include Robert De Niro, who plays Joy's father. He's great as always, and Bradley Cooper, who is the man that gives Joy the opportunity to try to sell the Miracle Mop on television. While Bradley Cooper is more seen as a glorified cameo in my eyes because he doesn't show up really until the second half of the movie, I would say De Niro has a lot more to do here, and he is unlikable to say the least. One problem I do have with this movie is despite the fact that everyone is really well acted in this film, the unlikable characters, including the rest of the dysfunctional family, really didn't seem all that necessary at times during moments of this movie, as it is mainly about Joy trying to get this Miracle Mop made and selling it to basically contribute something to the world because she wants that dream to come true. This also goes into the odd structure of this movie, with the first and second halves of this film being radically different from one another. The first half deals with Joy growing up and gaining inspiration for inventing this Miracle Mop, while the second half deals with Joy actually trying to sell this Miracle Mop eventually on television to the masses. And I really didn't mind the structure so much had the beginning of this movie not been initially slow, especially since that said dysfunctional family does get a lot of spotlight and they continue to get screen time throughout this movie. But once the movie is halfway over and the second half of the movie does hit, director David O. Russell shows off his true directing chops in this film, as not only does Jennifer Lawrence get a lot more much needed screen time that shows off her amazing acting capabilities, but also with the rest of the supporting cast, as they serve better purposes as well in being more likable despite them still being unlikable for a lot of the movie. The second half of this film is where I also got somewhat more drawn to this movie as it continued to go on, with its really prevalent backdrop of business being displayed here with Joy's entrepreneurship. I'm a current business student in college, so that's one reason you would say that I like this movie a lot more than critics and audiences are. But even with that, the movie does give you a nice glimpse of how business does work in any form, with all the difficulties and even the rewards associated with you being involved with business. On top of that, just like any other David O. Russell directed film, it looks and sounds nice as well, with it coming together to something that is at times emotional, but ultimately telling in how we see our main character go through this dramedy in trying to achieve her dreams. This certainly isn't David O. Russell's best film to date, as I much prefer American Hustle and Silver Linings Playbook to this film, and even some of his early work like Three Kings I like more. But with all that being said, Jennifer Lawrence's stellar performance and all of the inspirational things that are associated with the second half of this film and its big message of business, even if you get a glimpse of it, make this movie worth watching alone, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a fan of Jennifer Lawrence and director David O. Russell. My final verdict for Joy is 4 out of 5 stars. One final note before I end this video. I did say earlier that this is my final review of 2015, but that does mean that my favorites of 2015 video will be coming very soon. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of Joy, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.